everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a puppy makeover. No, just kidding. So we are actually doing a back to school essential makeup collection, and this is what I'm thinking that any age group can really use. It just depends on, you know, if you're a little bit younger, say like in middle school, like what your parents allow you to wear to school. If you're in high school, you know, what your high school allows you to wear, what you feel comfortable with. These are all things that everyone can wear, you know, up to college. You can have all of these things that, you know, it's all based off of obviously your own preference if you're old enough to make those decisions for yourself, or your parents or a school kind of thing, depending on what you're allowed to wear. So I also gave you a higher end product and also a drugstore product. Yes, this is Ollie right there. Boop. He wants to be a part of the back to school adventure with you guys. So let's just jump into the video so you guys can see what I chose for your back to school essentials. Okay, so we are going to go in order of how I personally do my makeup, because that is how I can think properly of how I would do everything and make sure I don't forget anything. So first, we are going to talk about primers. And my two, didn't break. My two probably favorite primers that I have right now are, well, I have a lot, but these are the two that I kind of go for because I want that really nice illuminated look. The first one is by Maybelline, and it is the Master Prime primer, and it's the Blur and Illuminate one, and it's called 200. So that is what that looks like. And you get 1 ounce, which is a really generous amount because you don't need a lot of this. Just squirt a pea size in your hand and you are good to go. And for my higher end, this is the BECCA priming, or the BECCA Backlight priming filter. And that's what this one looks like. And I love the way this illuminates the skin. They're both really beautiful on the skin. They just give this really nice illumination, and that is what I preferably go for, and I know a lot of people are going for right now. With the BECCA one, you also get 1 fluid ounce as well too. I will have all of the prices of everything listed in the description box, but I'll try to, you know, put them somewhere in the video as well too, so you can see the difference in price, because there's obviously going to be a big difference between higher end and drugstore. Next, we have foundations, and these are a little new to my collection besides one of them. So let's go with the drugstore first. The first one I have, well, they're both by L'Oreal, and they are both the Infallibles, but it just depends on which one you like. So this one is the Pro Glow, which is new to my collection, which I'm really, really liking. And the other one is the matte one, the Pro Matte one. And I love these because they give great coverage, but you don't have to do a ton of coverage either. Like, you can sheer it out, you just don't even have to use as much, but you can build it up, which is really, really nice. And I like that they come in both matte and and more of a glow, because it just depends on your preference. You know, if you like something more matte, then obviously this one. If you don't, go with the glow. Then my new favorite obsession, this is the Jose Maran Vibrancy Foundation Fluid, and I am in love with this foundation. It is so beautiful on the skin. It just gives you this amazing glow, and I am just obsessed with it. I feel like everyone should own this foundation, unless you're like super oily. That would be really, really bad. But it just looks so beautiful on the skin. That's what I'm wearing today, and I am in love. So this is the Jose Maran Vibrancy Fluid, or Foundation Fluid. Next, for concealers, the drugstore option is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I love this concealer. It's really, really cheap, and it works really, really well. I usually pick this one up for highlighting, and then I usually use my higher end ones for my normal concealer look. Usually I'll pick one concealer that's my color, and then I'll pick a concealer that is my highlighter color, and then I kind of mix the two. But this is an awesome concealer for just by itself. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And for my higher end option, I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. Wow, that's a mouthful. And this is just a wonderful concealer as well too. Really flawless looking, gives you a lot of coverage, just looks beautiful. I feel like these two are neck and neck with each other. One's just higher end and one is drugstore. I'm going to skip over like bronzers and contouring because I personally don't like any bronzers and contouring colors from the drugstore. It's really hard to tell you know, if it works really well because you can't test it from the drugstore. And personally for me, I haven't found any colors that are dark enough from the drugstore, but if you have any that are from the drugstore, go ahead, use those, that, you know, whatever you want to do. Mine are just all higher end, so I didn't feel like it was fair to show you guys that. But we are going to talk about blushes. And I have two from the drugstore that I like, and then one higher end that is my kind of go-to. So my two from the drugstore, I have one from Wet n Wild, and these are the Color Icon blushes, and these are amazing. I'm pretty sure they're like $3 or something like that. They come in, I think, 3 or 4 colors, and they are amazing. Amazing. They have so much pigmentation to it. I am in love with these blushes, so that is a good option. Or the MILANI Baked Powder blushes. These are really, really nice as well too. I know sometimes it's harder to find MILANI in some stores, so that's why I'm giving you kind of 2 different options. But these are both wonderful, wonderful blushes that are from the drugstore. And next from higher end is just my MAC blushes. I have so many of them. I have palettes, I have singles. I am in love with MAC blushes. I think they're so pigmented. We have a crazy amount of range for colors that everyone can find. I just think everyone should own at least a couple MAC blushes in their life. So that is your higher end. Next, for just setting the face, you know, I know there's like a whole baking trend and everything like that, and you know, you can use you don't even have to use liquid foundation. You can just use a powder foundation if you want. But if you are using liquid foundation, I have 2 setting powders that I will use as well too. The first one from the drugstore is the Maybelline Master Fix Setting and Perfecting Loose Powder. So it's just a white loose powder that looks like that. And from the higher end, I have my Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. I obviously like this one a little bit more, but this one is a really, really nice one as well too. So you have a couple different options, you know, depending on your budget, but they are both wonderful. You know, they get the job done when setting your face. And for highlighters, I have one from the drugstore and kind of one, kind of 2 from the higher end. The first one from the drugstore is from Makeup Revolution London, their Vivid Baked Highlighter, and I'm trying to open it so you can see it. Hold on. Caliber? No. Ooh. So that is what this looks like. I think they have a couple different colors in this highlighter, but this one is called Radiant Lights, and I'll just swatch it so you guys can see it. It is so pretty. I have it on like the apples of my cheeks right there. Sorry if you can hear my dog scratching. He wants to go outside, so just hold on. But yeah, that is what that looks like. And next, for my higher end highlighters, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kits. And the reason why I chose these is first because the pigmentation and the coloring of them are beautiful. You have one that is a little bit more that's a little bit more cool tone, and this is the Gleam Kit. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then the other one that is a little bit warmer, and this is that Glow. And I know they have 2 more kits as well, or actually 3 more kits as well too. I have another one. It's a little bit more of a colorful highlighter, but they have a couple other options as well too. But the other reason why I chose these is because they are in a palette, and it's good for those girls who are in college, because you don't have a lot of room for your makeup in college. Trust me, I know. When I got my first apartment, I had like a whole you know, drawer setup thing that I had to buy for all my makeup, and it was a hassle. So, you know, the more like condensed things can be, like palettes like this, the better for, you know, those girls who are in college. So I love, love, love these Anastasia glow kits. Next, let's move on to eyes. I have two different palettes because I think, like I just said previously with the glow kits, I think that having palettes for girls or guys who are in college, it just works out better for storage, but obviously you can have whatever eyeshadows you want, but it's giving you a nice option. So this is not from the drug store technically, but it is on the lower end when it comes to palettes. It is the Morphe palette, and this is the 35N palette. I have a couple different ones, but this is the most neutral one that I have. And I think it has a nice range of colors, and this is what I have on my eyes right now. But I love that the pigmentation is really, really nice with these eyeshadows. You're not really getting drugstore quality at all. You are getting really higher end quality for a drugstore price. You get 35 colors in here, and I think it's for like $25 or something like that. Like I said, I'll link all the prices below, but I just think that you get a really nice range of colors for anyone that likes to play with makeup and that likes to have some different options. But I think the Morphe palettes are wonderful, and like I said, they are nice to store if you are away at school. And then for a higher end option, especially if you like MAC shadows, I have the ×9 shadows, and these just went down in price as well too. So they're actually kind of close to the Morphe palettes, but you know, if you don't want to deal with shipping and stuff like that, these little ×9 palettes are wonderful. This is the Dusky Rose ×9 palette, and it's just a rosy one. We have about, what is it, like 8 different color palettes, like purples and blues and browns and pastels and all of that, but this is the one that I like a lot just because of the coloring. It's a little bit different. You don't see a lot of these colors often. A lot of times you see more of the neutral kind of browny colors. So that is what that looks like, and I just love them. I think the pigmentation is really nice, and they are nice and compact if you have to travel with them as well too. Moving on to eyeliners. So I have 2 different types of eyeliners, and then, you know, the drugstore and the higher end of one of them. So I always line my waterline, and the 2 that I use the most, the drugstore is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Kohl eyeliner. And first of all, do you see how big this is? This is huge, and it's sharpened pencil, so you can get it like all the way down to there if you have to. But this is a wonderful pencil. I think it was, you know, a couple bucks. And it's really nice and black, which is really, really nice. So I line my inner waterline with it, but you can do whatever you want with it. You know, put it on top, do whatever you want. So that is from Wet n Wild. And then I personally think the best inner liner, whatever you want, inner waterline thing is by Marc Jacobs. This thing does not budge at all, like at all. I'm not even kidding you. And this is the Highliner Gel Crayon, and this is just the black one. Just dropping it. And so this is, like, I'm not even kidding you, my favorite eyeliner of all time. It is so amazing, and all the time you would get it either like the black on the inside would just go away, or it runs or anything like that. This is not the case. I am just in love with this eyeliner. So if you can afford it, I would buy it. And then for if you want to create a wing, I do love gel liners. I got back into them, but I have one that I think is a little bit easier for most people to try out and to practice if that's what you're doing. And this is also from Wet n Wild, and it's their Pro Line Felt Tip Eyeliner. And it's a pretty small tip, and I just love this. It's also like $3 or something like that, and you just get such a nice wing out of it, a nice black line out of it as well too, and I think it's just really good for the price, and that you can get it from the drugstore. So that is what I will use sometimes on the top of my eye, and I think it's just easier than, you know, carrying a brush and, you know, a gel liner or anything like that. Next, for mascara, I have my two. So I have from the drugstore the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, and I think it's an okay mascara. I wear a lot of false lashes, so I really only care about on the bottom, and I like how black it is. That is one thing I really, really like about this mascara. But you know, you can get a lot from the drugstore, but this one I just like how black it is. And then from the higher end, I have from MAC, and this is by far my favorite mascara I've ever used in my life. It's called Upward Lash, and a lot of people don't talk about it because a lot of people don't really talk about mascara period on their channel, because a lot of times they wear false lashes or, you know, they just use it from the drugstore. But this is the best mascara I've ever used in my life, and I'll show you how small the wand is. And a lot of people, they're like, oh, what is that little itty bitty thing going to do? And I'm like, just try it, honey. So I have sold this mascara time and time again without even people trying it, because I talk so passionately about it. But this mascara, since that little tip is so small, it has those little spikies, it just grabs your lashes and just pulls them up. That's why it's called Upward Lash. It just pulls them up and just makes them so nice and defined, and it still gives you volume, which I absolutely love. So, I mean, it's only like $10 more, or, you know, $9 more than the other one. So if you can really splurge for that one, I would really go with this one by MAC. Okay, for brows, I know that they have some stuff from the drugstore. I personally never tried them. And my brows are hard. Like, I have such thick brows that a lot of times when I draw them on, I just feel like it's just too much. Like, and especially when they haven't been, done, like waxed and stuff like that, when I draw them on, they can just be like a hot mess. So a lot of times I will just use a brow gel, and this isn't the color that, I mean, I have this color for when I dyed my hair to kind of blend in. I use two different colors. Usually I use a brown one, but this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and like I said, this is just their tinted brow gel. And it's just super quick and easy. A lot of brands have them. I know they have them from the drugstore. I've just never personally tried them. But I just think they're so quick. You know, I hear a lot of girls, you know, they're taking like 20 minutes on their brows. And I'm like, who has 20 minutes to take on their brows? Like, especially girls who are going to school, you need something quick. And this is something that you can totally use, you know, in the car, on the bus, you know, whatever you need right before school if you're running late or anything like that. I just think these are super quick and easy, and they just look really natural in the brows. Okay, now we are moving on to lips. So I have lip glosses and lipsticks. Lip liners, to me, I like a little bit. Well, first of all, I just like most of them from MAC. A lot of brands don't sell they do sell lip liners, but I just don't even buy them. But you can get whatever lip liner you want from wherever. I just personally use MAC because it's easy for me to get. But I think the color selection is really nice from MAC. But I know I've used NYX, I've used Jordana from the drugstore. Those are really nice as well too. But let's move on to lip glosses. So I don't have it on me from the drugstore, but the NYX butter glosses, those are really nice, but I couldn't find them in my collection, so sorry about that, but I'll like insert like maybe a little picture or something like that. But I do like the butter glosses because they're nice and silky on the lips. So that would be what I would choose from the drugstore. Whoop, wah! And then from the higher end, I have 3 MAC ones, and I just brought some different colors, and I brought a clear one. I think everyone needs to own a clear lip gloss, or lip gloss, they call it lip gloss from MAC. But this lip gloss, and I think, you know, a lot of moms watching this, or, you know, older girls watching this, this is what a lot of people would use back in the day when matte was like not in at all. Everyone loved a glossy lip, and so you would just put this all over your lips, and it was just so glossy. And I think a lot of people need to get back to this because it is amazing. You can put it on top, you can wear it by itself, super quick and easy. You know, for those girls who aren't wearing any color, you know, maybe middle schoolers or something like that, this would be a good option. So this is just a clear lip gloss from MAC. And then I have two other colors, kind of depending on skin tone as well too. They're more on the neutral side. This is a plush glass, and it's called Big Baby. And I will swatch it on the back of my hand, if you can see. So it's just kind of a nudie pink, really pretty on the lips and goes well with anything. And then I have Bow, which is maybe, you know, for anyone who's a little bit darker skin tone, because it is a little bit darker, not too much. But this one's called Bow. And let's put it over here. And it's a nice, like, brownie pink shimmery color. The Big Baby doesn't have any shimmer, but the Bow does. So I really like both of those, just kind of maybe depending on your skin tone. And then I have one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And Anastasia Beverly Hills has probably the best lip glosses I've ever used because they're so pigmented, but they're so creamy. So this one is called Vintage, and it has a little bit of like a gold reflex in it, but I don't really notice it. But you can see the pigmentation compared to the other ones. It's just beautiful. This one's like a dusty kind of rose color, which I absolutely love. So those are a couple options that you can do that are higher end, and like I said, the butter glosses from NYX are really, really nice. And then for lipsticks from the drugstore, I have 4 different options, and the first one is well, I should probably show it to you. Where are you from? Oh wait, L'Oreal, sorry. The L'Oreal collection, and this is the JLo one. I don't know, I'm pretty sure they still sell these. But that is what the packaging looked like. It has a little, you know, signed by JLo, and it's just a pinky nude color. So that's what that looks like. And it's pretty sheer, so anyone who's not really interested in a ton of color would benefit from that one really nicely. And then I have 2 of the soft matte lip creams from NYX. And the first one is called Milan. And I chose some liquid lipsticks because, you know, those girls who are in college or even in high school, you don't really want to touch up, you know, when you're going to class or anything like that. That's what that looks like. And so a nice a liquid lipstick is really nice because then you don't have to touch it up throughout the day, and you don't have to worry about it. So that one is called Milan. And the other one I have is called Abu Dhabi. And this is more of a nude. So for anyone who doesn't want a ton of color, that one is Abu Dhabi. And then I have by MILANI, their Amore matte lip creams, and this one is in the color Lust, and I really, really like these as well too. Pretty similar to the NYX one in Milan. So that's what that looks like. So those are some good options from the drugstore that I think are really, really nice. And then I have, how many? 5 matte, wow, not matte, 5 MAC lipsticks, because I know a lot of girls are interested in MAC as well too. So the first one I have is called Polished Up. In this one, I would say it's a luster, so it's more on the sheer side. I'm trying to get a good swatch. And it's more on the brown side. So for anyone that is kind of around my skin tone or darker, would really benefit from this one, or if you just like a dark brown lip. But it is more on the sheer side, so you don't have to be afraid of it being like so crazy brown. But for anyone who's a little bit darker, this one would work really nicely. And that one's called Polished Up. Next I have Angel, and this is one of my favorite lipsticks. It's a frost, but it does not look frosty on the lips at all. Kim Kardashian used to wear this all the time. And it's just like a softer baby pink that I really, really love. Just doesn't give a ton of coverage, but it's really natural on the lips, which a lot of girls want, especially for school. And then I have Velvet Teddy, which is a very famous, popular color by MAC. And this one is matte because Kylie Jenner wore it a lot. And it's like a pinky nude, which is really, really nice, but it's matte, so, you know, definitely will wear really well when you're in class. And then I have Fanfare, which is a cream sheen, so it goes on a lot creamier. I'm doing this with my left hand, so that's why they look like a hot muzz. This is kind of like an orangey, kind of pinky color. It's coming off a little bit more pink on camera, but it has a little bit of like a coral to it. That's the one on the bottom. And then last but not least, I have Cream Cup by MAC, and this is also a cream sheen, kind of similar to Angel, but a little bit more of a nudie pink instead of being a little bit of a Barbie pink. They look very similar on camera, but in person, the Cream Cup just looks a little bit more nude. So those are all my options from MAC that I personally love, and I love to give to girls who are going back to school. And last but not least, I have hydrating sprays, or what a lot of people like to call setting sprays. To me, they're not a setting spray. To me, I don't believe in setting sprays. I don't think they work. I think your primer, your powder, you know, if you bake, that's what's gonna make your makeup last longer. A lot of sprays that people spray afterwards, they just hydrate the skin and they take down any powderiness or any cakiness that your makeup may have done. So I love to apply a lot of powder, but because then it'll stay, but then I will spray a ton of a hydrating spray to make it look more natural and to give me that just dewy, glowy look. So that is the difference to me when it comes to, say, so I'll just talk about them. I'll talk about the higher end one. This is MAC Fix Plus, which I know a lot of people have heard about. Everyone, time and time again, will come in to the store and say, I need the setting spray by MAC. And I say, technically, MAC does not sell a setting spray. Then they get mad because they're like, man, everyone told me it's a setting spray. It's not a setting spray, it's just a hydrating spray. So it just hydrates your skin, it takes down any powderiness, it has some glycerin in it, which, you know, just helps get that powderiness away, but it will not make your makeup last longer. There's no claim to this product that will make your makeup last longer. It is probably the best product in the world for makeup, but it will not make your makeup last longer. Like I said, the primer's in the beginning, so, you know, the, whatever this is called, the Master Prime Blur and Illuminate, and the, you know, the BECCA primer, this is the stuff that makes your makeup last longer, and powders and stuff like that. When you set your makeup, that makes your makeup last longer. But these hydrating sprays that everyone's using will not make your makeup last longer. So I absolutely love MAC Fix Plus. I think nothing compares to it, but there are other options out there on the market. I think that MAC Fix Plus is the best one. But I have used by Pixie by Petra, their makeup fixing mist with rose water and green tea. And this one, it says it's a hydrating antioxidant pore tightening. So this one, this does say it prolongs your makeup wear. I mean, I don't really know, obviously I'm not using it all the time. I use MAC Fix Plus all the time, so my makeup still lasts all day long. So I really wouldn't notice a difference, I guess, with this, but it does do what I said, where it takes down any cakiness, powderiness, anything like that. So these are two good options, and I like the fact that it smells like rose water. I think that smells really, really nice. So those are two options that I have for hydrating sprays from the drugstore. So that is all I have for you for my back to school essential makeup collection. I hope that you guys got some good tips and tricks out of this makeup group that I have for you guys, and I hope that you guys can find some good products, especially the fact that I gave you a nice drugstore option, but also higher end, just depending on your budget. You know, everyone can afford makeup. It just depends on where it comes from. And there are some really good options for both out there, which is really, really nice. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see any more of my videos, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys!